Hey YouTube Nation, this is Aaron with Griffixit. Pay for lead generation or not to pay? It's a great question, and today I want to share a super low cost approach that allowed me to secure almost $12,000 of sales per month over my first 5 months being a handyman in 2024. So I think it's going to be very beneficial. Please stay tuned. So towards the end of the summer of 2024, the company I was with my engineering job eliminated my position. So I was faced with some questions. Do I want to continue to pursue jobs in the engineering sector, manufacturing sector, or did I want to approach and try to tackle my dream job, which ultimately be in business for myself? Ultimately, I weighed the factors of I've been doing a lot of DIY stuff. I built my own house over the past 2 years. I've acquired a lot of skills, tools, and equipment. I'm really in a good position with this job elimination to go after and tackle the idea of starting my own business. So I did that. For me, I wanted to minimize the costs associated with starting a business, as I really didn't know what I was going to get into. And if I wanted to get out of it quick, I didn't want to be in a really bad spot. So when it came to trying to secure leads to grow my business, I didn't want to pay a lot of money. People, once you sign up for Google, once you get an email, once you put your business on there, you're going to get phone calls, you're going to get emails, people from all sorts of lead generation. They're going to act like they're going to help you out. They got all this work for you, but you're going to have to pay. For me, I didn't want to pay. I want to go into this, try an alternative route, and leave that as the last option. So what I'm going to go over today is going to be those options. You'll see for under $100 how it helped me. I'm going to give you some statistics on some sales numbers and or percentage of my sales in the first year. So here we go. One thing I do want to bring up is my approach is for me. It's not going to work for everyone. I hope it will. That is the goal, but geographic areas, the type of work in that area might cause things to be a little bit different. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on trade businesses and especially the handyman side of things. And so what I've seen is a lot of those businesses have been in pretty big metropolitan areas. And with that comes, I think, a certain sector of people that have disposable income. They have tech jobs. They have high profile jobs that require a lot of time, pay well. So when they come home, they want to spend time with their family. They want to be doing their hobbies, not putting a lot of time and money into buying tools, working on projects, researching how to complete those projects. So they're willing to pay professionals to do that for them. My area, I'm in Western New York, just south of Buffalo. I think this area is a little more blue collar, and so you have a lot more people doing DIY stuff, doing things on their own, but there is still a need here, and that's what I had to search for and find. So first approach to that was my number one idea, website. Make sure you have a website. You want this thing to be searchable on Google, because that's going to allow people that are right in your local area, they're going to type in handyman near me, plumber near me, drywall near me. They're going to do these key word searches and that search engine is going to, put your business within that search envelope, hopefully. So you want that to be established. You want your website to look professional. You want to refer to your social media accounts and vice versa. So that's number one. In total for my first year, I was able to track back about 6% of my sales came from leads that people used my website to contact me. So it's a great tool. It's always there. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. You don't have to make it, the best thing in the world, but it's a way that people can see what you're all about and contact you directly from there. All right. Number two, local realtors. So I took within my first couple weeks of doing this, I took a full Friday off. I got dressed for the part, nothing outrageous, looking like I would a normal day at a handyman, clean shirt, my logo on it, my logo hat and everything. Went out, had a binder, with my projects in there and a bunch of business cards. And I had lined up some of the key areas that I wanted to hit. Had predetermined some of the realtors that I wanted to go, and I actually found a couple others along the way. But I went there, basically wait till open hours, went into their office, introduced myself, told them started a business recently, a handyman business, and here's some of the work that I'm available to do, and here's my contact information if you want to get a hold of me. Some people were short, like, okay, yeah, we'll reach out to you, and really didn't have much to say. I can say most of those people, if not all, didn't contact me down the road. But there were some that I could tell had an interest, might have some needs, and would at least pass my name on to others that might need my services. And those people sparked out some good conversations. And definitely there's 2 realtors that use me quite a bit. One would use me for their own realty company. A lot of the realtors within there called me and would utilize my services. And another one, he didn't use me himself, but a colleague of his had some problems at his own personal house, and he referred me to that guy. And that guy also resulted in some repeat business and some other business down the road with one of his friends. So word of mouth goes a long ways. These realtors are great. Great resources, and they have connections, and they sometimes need stuff done to sell houses. So that was a good one for me. I think that equated to about 3% of my sales in the first year. So not a lot, but it did have some fill-in things, and sometimes these emergency situations were pretty profitable. So that's number 2. All right, number 3, Home Depot Pro Referral. So what this is, it's basically, first and foremost, if you utilize Home Depot, you should utilize Home Depot. Not for everything. You're going to have to pick out what stores you purchase things from, but go there, sign up for a pro account, and that's going to give you some savings, some things that work out pretty nice through their program with returns and everything, tracking all your purchases. But with the referral thing, it's basically once you're there, you can sign up for the pro referral. And I'm going to show you some of the website on how to find that. But basically the program this is the pay one. I paid a one-time $70 fee that covered a background check, and also allowed them to make sure I had correct coverage with my liability insurance. And basically you sign up, they do all those checks. Once you're approved, you're going to have your own profile. You can go into that profile, and then there's some things you can do to really tailor what referrals you get. You can go in and pick your occupations. I think a couple of them that I signed up for are handyman, plumbing, electrical. I know some assembly stuff. And underneath of those sections, they give you a lot of different choices, and you can choose which ones you want to be available for referrals on. And you can also even go in and pick out your pricing, or like in this case, I picked out a couple just to show what prices I might charge, but I left a lot of them as contact for quote. And once you do that, you get a basic profile set up. You'll start receiving leads based on those profiles that are within a certain geographic area. And that's another thing you can do. You go in and you can pick, usually for me, I picked my hometown and kind of went around there within a certain range that I'd be willing to drive to support these referrals. And for me, it was more of these referrals came up near the Home Depots, which were closer to Buffalo. Down south of me, I didn't hardly ever get a referral from those areas because they're quite a ways from Home Depot. So, but how it works is I'll pick one out here and try to show it on the screen. Basically, like here's one I received last night. Just so you know, you want to respond to these within 48 hours because basically there's a response time associated with it, and it can hurt your performance rating, which potential clients can see when they look at your profile and see how you rate. So you want to respond as quick as possible. If it's either you pass on it or you accept and decide to follow up on it. In this case, you can see how I clicked that I would accept it. I went in and looked. You can see that they showed your phone number. I got out of that, and I went so I could see phone number, the person's name, their email address. So you can text them, call them, or email them. I found emailing, usually no response. calling, you get a response. I like to text and not catch someone off guard. I usually do something like, "Hi, this is Aaron. Here's the name of my handyman company. I work with Home Depot and they referred you to me. Do you still have a need for this XYZ project? Please contact me and we can, arrange to, for an estimate, a quote, or, work out the details over the phone." So that's how that all works. And another part of this program is, and this is where the no cost comes in. I think you can buy points. I never have a need for that. Basically, as you take a lead, it subtracts points from a rolling total. Right when you sign up, they give you so many points. If you buy stuff from Home Depot, you'll have no problem with these points, unless you're getting thousands of leads a week or something. Basically, as you buy a product, supplies, equipment, it adds points to your pro referral point total. And then when you take a lead, it subtracts from there. And I'm nowhere near. I think I'm over 12 or 13,000 points. And I think it subtracts, I don't even know the total. I don't keep track, like 100 at a time. So you can see how many leads I could get from that. And basically, it's up to you to communicate with the customer. You got to know that they're sending this lead, this project out to probably several other people in the area. So you're going to be bidding against them. You're going to be communicating with them. So you want to look professional. You want to sound professional. Again, set yourself apart from others who might be doing this trade with you. So the quicker you get to someone, I think the more apt they're willing to go with you right off the bat. Obviously, there's a price side of it. So you want to make sure you're competitive without, throwing yourself under the bus with the cost of that. So just work with the customer. For me, this has resulted in the second most amount of sales for me. I had two huge sales areas this came into place. One, I got a call, or I got a project. It was my first Home Depot referral, and I went to fix a downspout issue a lady was having at her condo, and their condo was attached to other condos, and came out to be, I got it unclogged and everything, but then I went back and as a return visit, totally replaced everything, got it all fixed and tied into her drain system and all that. She was very pleased, very excited, had some more projects for me. And in the meantime, she had already spoken to two of her neighbors, and I started I contacted them when I was there, made some shared information, and both of those neighbors called me back for quite a bit of work, and one, a lot of work. I did a whole house painting when they were gone for 2 weeks, interior painting of their house, top to bottom, and several other projects for them. So this method was great. And then the other one was a lead where a lady wanted me to put together a shed for her. She bought a shed through Home Depot. I got there, created a base for it. I had to create a base and do the whole roof once the shed was assembled. But I put the base together. Then I started digging into the Home Depot shed kit. And so I was taking it apart. It was all moldy and it was rotten. So their son came over, worked with Home Depot. They came, picked it up, and it was quoted, I think 4 to 6 lead time. And they were like, "Wow, we need the shed now." And I'm like, "Give me a second. I'll go home tonight, sharpen my pencil, do all of my homework. I'll shoot you a price on if I just build this from scratch." And I knew the price of that shed from looking up. I said, "I think I can get all the materials. I can beat the price of that shed. And then plus the labor I was going to get due on top anyways." So it all worked out. They gave me that job. 2 days later, I had a shed put together. The son was impressed. He approached me, asked me if I would come by his house, look at a kitchen and remodel project, 2 different projects. And a quote on that, and I won both of those. Did a full bathroom gut, did a whole new bathroom, ceramic tile around the tub and everything. And then went through, basically did a full gut of his kitchen and did her whole kitchen remodel. So all in all, that has equated to about 35% of my first year sales. through my first 8 months. Basically, I'm trying not to give all the details of all my sales. No real reason there, just, keep some mystery into what I do. But all in all, a very good money, very good profits, and the leads just keep coming in, daily. Like I said, I got one last night. A lot of these are, ceiling fans, barbecue, assembly. I put together several pieces of furniture for people, fixing drywall. So there's a lot of different topics you can get into, but those just get your foot in the door to do a lot of other projects. So, again, be professional, over communicate with people, and just give them service they're not used to. And usually word travels fast and you'll get more business. All right, number 4. This was the technique that resulted in the most sales, my first sale, and is no cost out of pocket. It's Facebook. So Facebook has been wonderful for me. You go in, you create your business profile, you basically have that in your personal profile, and you kind of work those together, and people can check and see you're a real human being, and it's a nice way to establish yourself. Get your profile loaded up with past projects. Let them see that you're just not new to this whole thing altogether, that you've done some stuff in the past. Here's some examples. Go into hopefully you've established some sort of logo. You have a package that allows you to go in and mess with your logo, work with some of the templates that are in there to create some advertising. And I have an example of the first advertisement I put out there. And so you can see that. And right below it, in this community web thing, there was a ad someone was putting out looking for handyman help. And I'll get into that more in a second. But basically, you're trying to establish yourself as an online presence, different from everyone else. Set yourself apart. Be very professional, very concise with what you say, very courteous. Don't criticize others. Don't take shots at other people, your competition or anything. Rise above, compliment. I like a lot of my competitor stuff because they do good work. Why would I not like that? So I'm not here to, make myself look better in spite of them. And I think that's gone a long ways. But basically, once you have that all established, you want to go to the local communities in your area and find their more popular community pages, group pages on Facebook. And then what you're looking to do is start to post, some of your advertising material, post that. They usually limit you to one post a week, sometimes one every 2 weeks on some of these sites I'm on. Depends. Maybe some don't care at all. You can do it daily. But I try to do once a week, and I would upload, hey, here's a marketing piece that I put together, or here's a picture of a past project, and say something like, hey, something along the lines, I can do this for you, basically. Like in need of a bathroom remodel. Here's an example. Give me a call, and we'll work on this project together, basically. So you're doing that, and then all addition to that, you're going to start searching. You go into the search area, and you type in keywords like handyman, fix, electric, plumb, drywall, and those things are going to automatically pop up listings of what people were asking for. Sometimes it's people advertising, other your competitors. They're just saying, oh, I can do this drywall work for you. I can do this handyman work for you. So you learn stuff about your competitors, but also you get people like this request where I shared earlier. Someone was looking for someone to assemble furniture. And if we go into that, you can see my response, my first response ever, and I landed that job. You can see I was competing maybe against 30, 40, 50 other people. But the way I responded, I linked my website in there. First of all, I wasn't quite approved yet with my business, so I replied with my personal account, referring to my business, and then later on I did refer as my business, so people could see that as well. But you just start doing this. Here, I'm going to show some examples of things in just the last day. I've gone onto these websites, onto these community pages, and just boom, there's tons of things people need done, and they're asking for help. They're asking for recommendations. So you want to reply in a super professional way. Try to not just throw your name, number in there. Reply to the person and the problem they're trying to have solved. That shows that you care about what they wrote, that you took the time to actually look into their issue and formulate a smart response. This has worked great for me. It has equated to over $44,000 of sales in my first year, and basically just lots of projects. I've started tallying them up, and I was amazed how much work came from this method. And it's a great thing once it starts building off each other, off itself. People like things. You got friends seeing these posts before you do. They're putting your name down and referring you to some of this stuff. Friends and family. So it's an awesome tool. It's free. The social media thing's very powerful, and you can use it to your advantage. One bonus thing I want to share from this is this led me to work with a vacation rental company. And this person is a realtor in the area, but they also down in this town south of me is a ski town, basically. In this winter, it's just booming with people that love skiing. Summertime, it's more, there's other hobbies and things people do there with golfing, mountain biking, and just visiting in general. Really nice, beautiful area. And so the vacation rental and the Airbnbs, Verbos are huge down there. And I got in with a company, and they utilized me it was the number one source of income for me up to this point. Established a great trust, but this guy contacted me off Facebook. He already had some handymen down in the area, and he said, "Hey, I'm open to having some other people to work on my stuff. Maybe I'll give you a trial project sometime." So we met in person, and that was the key for me. If I can meet someone in person, if we can talk on the phone, I rarely, if ever, don't get the business at that point. Unless there's something else going on. And that's not trying not to be arrogant, but I think I usually approach things and have a way to show that I'm there to take total ownership of the project. I want to show up at their properties, and when I'm there to fix a issue, but I'm also there, if I see the garbage out by the curb, I pull it in. If I see in the wintertime the sidewalks need shovel, I shovel the sidewalks. If I see X, Y, and Z, I just try to take care of any problem there because I treat the property as my own, and I want me to be an extension of their business and for them to see that I am trying to make them successful, because I think then it's going to result in more business for me. And it's just a partnership and a long-term relationship. And that has worked out to be the best thing. Besides doing business for them, I've done stuff at their own house and on projects they've had up actually in the Buffalo area. So it's been wonderful. I really suggest trying to find those things in your area. Property managers, vacation rental managers. People want the people that stay during those times to not have any issues. So if you can do everything you can and they trust you're going to ensure all their visitors have wonderful stays, that's going to be huge and result into a lot more long-term business for you. So that's it, everyone. I hope you found these 4 things, 5 actually, helpful. Again, less than $100. All that, $75, probably close to $100,000 in sales from that. And that's the only money I've ever spent on lead generation. So get out there, do great work, be professional, and watch things grow just through word of mouth. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please click the like button, subscribe. If you have any comments, let me know. Let me know other ways that you found successful that I can continue to use going forward. Let me know what you have questions on. If you need more details into any of these things, if I can help you through these, let me know. If you've had the opposite experiences, I'll put those in there and see if we can work with the YouTube community to figure things out and maybe help you get back on the right track with some of these things. But I'm looking forward to your comments. I appreciate all your support. Take care. See you next time.